Welcome to the Domestic God. You can catch us on YouTube and Facebook. This is how to change a circuit breaker on an inside secondary electrical panel. Now, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you need to figure out when you're going to change a circuit breaker is your main power circuit breaker in your inside or outside electrical panel box. As you can see right here, a normal circuit breaker box will have a main unit above all the other circuit breakers below it that operate the house. But if you look on this other picture, in my home, there isn't one there, which got really confusing. So mine is on the outside of the house. So you need to go out there and find where that's located at. When you go outside to locate your main electrical panel, it's usually next to the electric meter on your house if you do not have a main breaker in your inside electrical panel. Remember to shut off the main breaker and the house breaker. When you look at the electrical panel box outside, it's going to be rectangular and usually gray next to the electric meter. It's kind of tricky to open. You need to push the latch up at the bottom and pull the panel door down and out at the same time. After you have shut off the main breaker and the house breaker outside, come back in and shut off the circuit breakers inside the electrical panel, and then remove the panel cover from the box. Unscrew the panel with a flathead screwdriver. Start with the outer screws and unscrew the center screws last to keep the panel stable. Keep pressure on the panel even when you take it out after the final screw is out. Gently remove the panel and place it on the ground without hitting anything in the panel box. You can never shut down too many power breakers to protect yourself from potential electrical shock. Flip a light switch on and off after turning off the breakers in the panel box before removing the panel to make sure the power is off before you take the panel box cover off the electrical panel. Locate the circuit breaker to remove and unscrew the wire attached on the side. Locate the circuit breaker that you're going to replace, and on the side will be a wire going into the side of the circuit breaker. There is a screw on the side holding that in. Turn the screw to the left to loosen and pull the wire out before removing the circuit breaker. Do not touch anything with the exposed wire. Bend it away from the box slightly. Take a flathead screwdriver or needle nose pliers and your hand to wiggle the circuit breaker out of its connection. Try not to touch anything other than the circuit breaker you are removing. This step should be done at the store with the circuit breaker you removed to match them up exactly. It will say the voltage and size on the circuit breaker sticker. Double check before installing a new circuit breaker. Now take the new circuit breaker and reinsert the wire into the side of the new circuit breaker. Only tighten slightly with the screwdriver. Then place the circuit breaker in correct slotted manner to match the other ones turned off. Slowly push in with slight pressure until you feel it connected. Once connected, finish tightening the screw up on the side. Make sure the circuit breaker is plush or even with the other breakers and does not wiggle or move. Panel breaker board should look complete with all breakers in the off position. With all the breakers still off, put the panel box cover gently, lining it up with the holes. Screw in the 2 center side screws first to stabilize the panel, and then finish screwing in the panel box cover on the outer edges. Now go to your main power box outside and turn your main power back on first, and then the house power back on. Close the door panel on the power box. Come back inside to the breaker panel box after you have turned on the main breaker and house breaker outside, if you have one. Now turn on all the breakers in the electrical panel box inside. After you have turned on all these circuit breakers on the electrical panel box inside, go flip a light switch on to make sure the power is back on and test the area you replaced the circuit breaker for to make sure it works. You have now successfully completed this project. This has been the Domestic God, how to change a circuit breaker on an inside secondary electrical panel. Thanks for viewing our video. You can find us on YouTube and Facebook. Follow us and share us and like us. Thank you.